Hey folks, do you love gourmet coffee roasted on site for a reasonable price? Of course you do. The Roll Call Room Cafe imports coffee beans from around the world and roasts on site for the freshest coffee. Check them out at 17229 Wayside Drive, Dumfries, Virginia 22026 or rollcallroomcafe.com to order coffee.
The issues discussed on the Roll Call Room podcast do not reflect the opinions of any specific agency. Any characters discussed on this show may be fictional for comedic value unless you're a shitbag Steve. This podcast is rated explicit and listener discretion is advised.
It is not the movement of the clock that produces the newness of life. It is the movement in your mind. You're going to hear all kinds of things said about you. Throw it behind you. The enemies that you see today, you will see them no more. No weapon formed against you shall be able to prosper. Every tongue that riseth against you, God will condemn. This is my time. Truth of the matter is, everybody in here is going through a change. You don't have to be ashamed of yours. We are all in the process of transforming to a higher, better expression of myself. Let this be the year that I birth a higher, better expression of myself. Don't let the habits of my past stop me from this metamorphosis. New year, new me. New year, new me. What separates us is transformation, the possibility of change, the desire to evolve, the passion to get up off the ground and stop eating dirt. I'm tired of doing what I used to do. If I always do what I've always done, I'll always be where I've always been. I'm going to throw it behind me. Somebody in this room that nobody would think would be in a church tonight, but you drew them to this place tonight because you want them to be a new me in a new year and have a new attitude and a new mind. Because the real battleground is in your mind. That's where the fight is. You lay down with it. You get up with it. You go to work with it. You can't digest your food because of it. Smiling in front of people and nobody knows that there's gunfire going off in your head. It's not a geographical location. It's not debt. It's not money. It's not haters. It's not enemies. It's not liars. It's not backbiters. That's not the battleground. Stop wasting your weapons on what people say, because it is not what they say about you that matters. It is what you say about you that threatens your destiny. You will never be defeated by what they say about you. You will be defeated by what you say about you.
I dedicate this to you, to the greatness in you, and to the dream that you showed up on the planet to produce. And it's simply this: if you want a thing bad enough to go out and fight for it, to work day and night for it, to give up your time, your peace, and your sleep for it, If all that you dream and scheme is about it, and life seems useless and worthless without it, and if you gladly sweat for it and fret for it and plan for it, and lose all your terror of the opposition for it, and if you simply go after that thing that you want with all of your capacity, strength and sagacity, faith, hope, and confidence, and stern pertinacity, if neither cold poverty, famish, or gulf, sickness or pain of body and brain can keep you away from the thing that you want, if dogged and grim you besiege and beset it, with the help of God you'll get it. You have greatness in you.
What I'm trying to tell you, beloved, is that you can have a new year, but it don't mean jack diddly if you don't have a new mind. I'm telling you that you can buy a new car, but if you put the old man in a new car, you're still gonna have the old experience. I'm telling you that a new house doesn't make a new marriage. I'm talking about a new outfit doesn't make you a new person. And if you think you are magically gonna be a new person, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, because new life comes from a new mind and a new way of looking at your life. I cannot step into the future and still think in my past. I cannot let the rumors and the stain of what they said about me destroy my opportunity. Slap somebody and tell them I gotta kill it tonight. I gotta destroy it tonight. I gotta get rid of it tonight. I gotta throw it behind me tonight. I can't drag that same old mess into another year.
Hello, and welcome to the Roll Call Room podcast that pissed off shitbag Steve Commanders and cost my daddy his job, and then pissed them off yet again with his #1 book, Mental Health Barricade, on Amazon. And now your host, my Uncle Mike, and best-selling author, my daddy. Fuck you, Commanders. Up your ass.
Bad boys, what you want, what you want, what you gonna do when Sherry John Brown come for you? Tell me
Turn the light
what you gonna do. Yeah. Bad boys, bad boys, what you gonna do?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Roll Call Room podcast, where we are very unprofessional. I am one of your hosts, Nick, and with me is the one and only city employee, aka Lazy.
Mike. What day is it, Mike? Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Mike, how are you doing today?
I'm
No
gonna
one
screw
cares.
up this. I'm gonna screw this whole episode up just for you.
Well,
Just
you're,
letting you know
you're
right
already
now.
doing it with your crappy Wi-Fi. So,
No, it's not my Wi-Fi. It's not my Wi-Fi.
So with me, folks, in studio is
Nicole.
I really hate that song.
Nicole.
Like with a passion. I swear he does this to annoy me.
Nicole.
all right. With me in studio is Nicole, and I asked her to come back on the show because we have the one, the only, Bill Young is our guest today.
William.
Yeah! I was hoping I had my own theme music.
I know, isn't it awesome?
William. William.
At least he's dancing.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
I found this guy on YouTube that just sings people's names. And they had Nicole and they had William.
Nice.
But I didn't have time to have my daughter record an intro for Bill because she did the opening for Bill's podcast.
Fantastic.
And she absolutely enjoyed making it. So since you come on all the time, I'm going to have her make a special opening just for you. I would have her make one for Mike, but we're really not. He's probably not going to last very much longer. I average one Mike a year.
It's about that.
I'm gonna run for the hills.
I'm
gonna start my own podcast.
My microphones last longer than my mics, so there's that. I got everybody's on. It's exciting. It's after Christmas. How was everybody's Christmas? Bill, did you work on Christmas?
I worked Christmas Eve. I have enough seniority to take some time off around the holidays, but I want that holiday money. And so for years, because we shifted our holiday to fit my work schedule, that's been our tradition. So we do our Christmas actually on the 24th. So then I can work Christmas and get that money. So I worked, but I was off a few days before I worked, and then I've been off this weekend.
I will tell you, I commend your seniority as far as working, because there's a lot of folks that they get 20 years on plus, and they get this seniority complex, and they just say, fuck the little guys. They just fuck that. I'm been on a really long time. Particularly, not picking on anybody, but particularly detectives.
Sure.
They get to that level, they get that shield, and then they're all about fuck the little guy, fuck them. And it's refreshing. I got to tell you, in the cockles of my heart, it's refreshing.
Well, Mike, I assume you're speaking about Mike here, but he probably still enjoys the company of his family. See, I small doses for me. My kids all hate me now, so they're all teenagers and above. And just small doses of dad is all they want. And so they don't care if I'm here or not.
Oh.
Well, let me tell you a thing. Christmas was going very nice. It was going good.
Oh, boy.
Good. Yeah. Oh boy. My son was like, yo, can I have some friends over? My son's gonna be 18. Yeah. So he had maybe about 20 kids. And it's about 11 o'clock at night. I get this text message. Lower the music. That's what I get.
Mm-hmm.
Now, being the detective that I am, I know it's a spoof number. So I proceed to have a conversation with this person. And I'll tell you what it says. So first text is lower the music. Then I get, now this is me texting. Who is this? And then I put question marks.
Oh, good detective work.
Yeah.
Good detective work. Who is this?
So I go, have the fucking balls to tell me who you are, not just lower the music, you fucking pussy. So then I write, that's what I thought, you pussy. Merry Christmas. Have the balls to text me from your real number. Area code is New Mexico. Let me tell you in Spanish. And that's it. And that's all I get. So I go to sleep and I wake up to another text message. Just lower the music next time. There won't be any problems. No need to blast it on Facebook. I'm just being a nice neighbor. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm going to ignore it. And then 2 hours later, don't make me come over there, you little bitch. I said, ha. And then you're lucky. So I'm like, why don't you come over? I'll turn the music up and we can dance. And then I said, don't threaten me. What are you, a 5-year-old? Your behavior is very childish. You're going to act like a child. I'll treat you like one. Should I make coffee? And then it says, come change my diaper, bitch. So then I say, oh, this is great. I love this shit. You're truly making my day. Please come over. We can have a beer and discuss this matter in detail. Like adults would. I guess that's a no. No, you don't want to discuss this matter? And then it says, okay, I'll come over. What time? Now, bitch. I'm here. So what do? I get out. I fucking run to the front. I'm going to knock out the first person I see. And there's no one. There's no one there. Bill's looking at me like, what the fuck is going on?
I thought you were going to say you jaw jack the Amazon drivers.
Right? So then I go, that's what I thought. Not even an adult to come over and talk. And then the last text message I get is, don't be a Steve.
Oh.
I turned around and I'm like, this is fucking Nick. I'm going to kill him. I'm going to kill this son of a bitch. I call him right away. And his stupid, like, I want to laugh voice is like, hey, buddy.
He was basically like a schoolgirl.
Hey, buddy.
I was standing next to him when you called.
What is going on with you?
He's
Hey, pal, what's the matter? I go, don't cut the shit. Cut the shit. What shit? I'm over here making a mocha latte bullshit. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, you motherfucker, and I'm drilling him. He had me yelling at my son. I thought my son's friends did it. Oh god, I flipped the fuck out.
That's hilarious.
I have witnesses. I was from here. I went poof. I was ready to go. I was ready to fight.
I know how to push your buttons.
Yeah, well,
buttons.
It's not even.
That's even.
No, it's not.
It took me 10 years to get you back, but I got
more than 10 years.
Be prepared. Be prepared.
Well, you know something? We have Bill on because always like to have people on, and we've had Bill on before. So my wife purchased his second book, which is called The Nothing That Never Happened. And book came in. She was super excited about it, and she read it, and she handed it to me, and she was like, "You need to read this." And nothing against Bill, it's just I'm not a big reader. Like that's why Bill in my book is like really short, because our attention spans are completely who we cater to. And those of you that are listening, you know the reason why that this show is like 45 minutes to an hour, because after 35 minutes of playing motorcycle sounds and pointing out how much of an idiot Mike is, because your attention span is very short. I get that. So I was reluctant to read it, and not because it's Bill, because Bill is one of my friends. I was like, ugh. And I gave like this face, and she was like, it would be nice if you read this to know what I went through and why I am the way that I am. Now, as a husband,
that means read the fucking book,
right?
Is what it means.
Then it was like, fuck.
Yeah, he didn't read the first one.
Yeah. So the thing is that I was like, all right, well, I got to read this thing. And the other thing is that I have learned with this show that I have helped. We have helped a lot of people that are strangers that I don't even know. But then while my wife was struggling in the corrections field, I didn't use the skills that I had acquired to even help her. So that's something that fairly recently that I've had to kind of cope with, which is that I can help tens of thousands of strangers, but here in my own home. And I pushed her to go back into the corrections field. I pushed her to go to the corrections field in the first place. She left, and then she went back. And I pushed her to go back to the corrections field. And mostly because, as a spouse, you want the other person to kind of experience what you're going through and why you are the way that you are, but not even thinking that you're basically pushing somebody into a fucking buzzsaw. That's an accurate. Yeah. So I take the train in twice a week to go to work. I telework the rest of the week. So I'm on the train and I crack open the book and I started reading the book. I was first chapter, second chapter, third chapter. I'm in it, and I put the book down. Swear to God, put the book down, and I text message Nicole and I say, "I'm sorry that I ever asked you to go into this profession. I'm sorry that I pushed you to get into this toxic environment, this toxic leadership that we have, and I've never been in the corrections field. So for me, and your book is a book for correctional officers and their families, but if you're a spouse of a corrections officer, you need to read this, because I can tell you how it is to be on the street. I can tell you how to go on some of these calls, and I can tell you all this other stuff. But Bill, you do an incredible job, like really explaining. I mean, you're basically a work release inmate.
You paint the picture.
Yeah. There's
Well, that's the difference. That's why I start the book saying, "Look, I'm not a clinician. I haven't studied the behavior of correctional officers. I am a correctional officer. When I write about a fight or I write about something, an ill effect that's taken place, it's because I was there. I've watched my brothers and sisters, struggle and quit and and just change over the years. I mean, so it's I can't give you the statistics, Nick. I can't say, this diagnosis is this. All I know is that it's whatever this is ripping us apart if we don't do something to fight it. So that's what I try to do.
Well, and I could tell you is that the correctional field really does. They get a raw deal in the sense that everybody thinks during police week and when PTSD, like law enforcement suicide and stuff like that, they don't really think about the corrections field. It's kind of like dispatchers.
Yeah, they think it's a joke.
Yeah, they think that you go in there and we're just babysitters. You're babysitters.
I've heard it 1,000 times.
Yeah, and it sucks. I mean, I know me personally, when I would bring somebody into the jail or into booking, I couldn't wait to get the fuck out of there. Like it's not my cup of tea. Like I like dropping them off and leaving. I couldn't.
Yeah, I mean, you feel like it's skeevy. It's they're perps. They're perps. They're savages. They're you don't want to be there. Just drop and go. Let's get the fuck out.
Yeah, but that's what you're ingrained to do, though. That's what they teach you at the academy, and they shove it in your head over and over and over again, just to get you better prepared for that type of mentality. You guys are on the streets, and we're on the inside. Yeah. We're the ones for 12 and a half hours that have to use our IPC skills and, really dig into why inmates are behaving the way that they are and prevent things from happening to each other, to them hurting each other. It's a lot. Like for 12 and a half hours, your ears are constantly buzzing and ringing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Bill tells a good story in the book, and I'm not going to give away anything in the book, but Bill tells a good story, which is that, and I was laughing on the train when I read the story about you going over to your wife's friend's house.
Yeah.
And she was a nurse, and it was a EDP subject, emotionally disturbed person, and she was protecting their identity because of fucking HIPAA. And it rings true because let me start by this. Bill, do you even remember the person you were before you joined the correctional field, where you can go in those social settings and be semi-sociable?
No.
Yeah.
Nick doesn't either.
I don't either. And it's interesting because Nicole and I were having this conversation yesterday over dinner, which was we were in a profession where all we dealt with were the worst of the worst. And now we own a cafe where 100% of our job is customer service.
Right.
It's so fucking weird. Like
customer's always right.
I wouldn't go that far, my friend.
No, customer's always right, Nicholas.
Not in this cafe. It's not.
No.
Cafe. There ain't no free rides, Billy boy.
No, but you know what? That's interesting because when I see like your posts and I see like the support that you're getting for the coffee house and the people that come in, I mean, without sounding too crazy here, I mean, that kind of stuff brings a tear to my eye. Like when I'm out and about and somebody reacts positively towards me, or I'm around a positive environment, it's almost too overwhelming for me. Like it makes me feel uncomfortable because it's so different from what I'm used to dealing with. That I mean, I tell people all the time, I said, I don't think I could ever work another job where I'd have to deal with regular people ever again, because I'm just so fried,
And I thought the same way until we opened up this place. And the only thing I wish about like the cafe is I wish that I can share the experiences of the silent majority coming in here and patronizing the cafe and the accolades that the profession gets that they don't hear about. Like the amount of customers that come in here and they're like, thank you so much for all the sacrifice and thank you for everything you've done. Thanks. It's a breath of fresh air because you never get that on duty, especially you guys in the correctional field. At least on the street, every once in a while, very rarely, you would get somebody that comes up to you and says, hey, thank you for your service. I mean, how often do you guys get in that in the correctional field?
I could tell you from this last year, especially COVID hitting home, what was I telling you the other day? We had an inmate that was with us for almost 2 years. He got released. Every other weekend, he would come and drop off stuff at the front gate for the deputies for treating him with kindness, decency, and respect. And, he would drop off cinnamon rolls. He'd drop off, Dunkin' Donuts. He'd drop off box of Joe's. He just went on Christmas and just dropped off some stuff, for the security teams that took care of him, over the last year, treated him, with kindness, respect. And it's very rare.
He even came into the cafe
twice,
dropped off gloves and
face masks.
I got to tell this story. So I think Nicole, I don't know this dude. So I think that Nicole's talking to like one of her classmates or former workers from the jail because they come in here all the time on the down low. And so she's talking to this dude, right? And then like she brings him up to the register and he buys something. And I'm like, oh, how are you? And he's like, he goes, do you know who I am? I'm like, oh, do you work with Nicole? Nicole out loud with a full cafe turns around and goes, no, he was an inmate.
I didn't say it like that.
Yes,
I didn't say it like that. I said, this is the dude that I talked about that would always, bring such and such every other week.
She said, "This is
after he got released.
This is the inmate that I told you about."
Nick is like, "Let me give him a LEO discount," and I'm like, "No."
I was like,
did she have a pair of gloves on too when she said that? This is the inmate I told you about. Yeah. Snap the glove.
3 fingers.
The funny thing is that his wife is a nurse, charge nurse. So that's why he brought gloves and he brought stuff over because he was just trying to be nice. He heard that I had a cafe. He heard I left the agency because he would come in and check. And I was responsible for him for almost 2 years. So I had that relationship with him or that bond with him. I had to go to court for him.
Yeah, it was a funny story.
It was just a nice thank you,
It was funny. So, Nicole, what was the most out of Bill's book? What was the chapter that you were telling me that really hit home the most out of all of the chapters?
I'm pretty sure it's 7.
Okay. Bill, you remember that chapter?
Oh, I have to look here.
I'm the same way. I don't even know what the chapter names were.
Jail is easy. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's the so the premise behind that chapter is that we're really well trained to handle the things inside. I'm a rock star. I'm a seasoned vet that people can rely on. I know the inmates know me, but so handling the situations inside of work are sometimes easier than dealing with the situations at home. Mm-hmm. The PTA meetings, the kids not taking out the trash, my wife, yelling at me to paint the house or whatever she's doing. So we hide and work, right? So we say we're working overtime just to provide for the family, and then that kind of takes us down a dark path. But we do that because we become institutionalized, and operating inside becomes easier than operating outside.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that 1,000%. Especially this year when, COVID hit and happened, and, you have to watch where you're going at all times, even when you're out. So you feel like you're in a housing unit, even when you're at home, because you're kind of stuck home. And then, you're there. And it's like your safety net, because at least there you're getting paid to be there and you understand everything that's happening and everything that's going on. When you're home and, you're dealing with everything else, it's like all background noise and it's frustrating. And it's
for at the beginning of COVID, it was the only thing that remained the same was inside, right? Everything outside shutting down, restaurants are shutting down. But my life, because we don't do a whole lot of things because I'm so super paranoid, it didn't really change much in the beginning, right? I mean, this work was still the same. We had to wear masks, but everything else was exactly the same. And so as the outside world's falling apart,
It's the one
I could just focus on the inside. It was even to the point where they're like, "Oh, there's a toilet paper shortage." I'm like, "Well, we're never going to run out of toilet paper at work, so I'll just shit at work." Or there's showers at work, or if we run out of food, I'll just eat at work, and my family. I mean, it was things like that. Like this was my spot that like in a zombie apocalypse, this is where I'm going to go, right? So no, you're right. It became a comfort zone for us.
Yeah, and those are things that before reading this book, I really didn't even consider how you guys are. I mean, we know that you're locked up with the inmates, but
yeah, but you guys are in a cruiser for 12 and a half hours, driving around. You have silence. You bring somebody to booking. You're in and out in like a half hour, 45 minutes, maybe an hour. But us, it's 12 and a half hours straight of nothing but listening, having your, watching your back, watching your partner's back, and you're doing 100,000 things. You have to really be able to multitask, and you have to really be able to turn off, the things that are happening outside of work to focus on what's inside of work. Because if you don't, it's life or death, and people don't realize that. Yeah. And they don't even think about it. They're like, oh no, they're just babysitters. No, we're really not. Because you know what? When I'm doing shakedowns and I'm pulling a razor out of somebody's cell that threatened to kill my partner, it's a big deal.
Yeah. Yeah, and like I said, I don't think folks really understand that the correctional side is. I mean, it really does take a huge toll on you after a while. I mean, you become very, very jaded, like Bill. I mean,
yes, very. And here's what I don't. Here's what people. I've got some feedback, Nick, from people that are like, oh well, being a cop's tough too, or being a firefighter's tough too, or like somebody was telling me the other day that grocery store, being a grocery store stocker during the pandemic stuff too, and I'm like, okay, well, I hope there's somebody out there that is doing that. Nick, you're doing it for police. Hopefully there's some grocery store guy that's writing a book about that. But I don't care about any of that, right? Because of all the things Nicole just mentioned. I don't know if I've ever told the story before, but I remember taking inmates to the courthouse, and my head's on a swivel because I'm like, it's like the old Nintendo games when there are too many graphics and things started slowing down. I mean, there's ex-inmates, I'm watching my current inmates, there's people everywhere. And I got my back to the wall, and here come these two cops busting out of the courtroom. I mean, they're just in a conversation with each other, just deep into each other's eyes, walking down the hallway. And I'm watching the people in the hallway part for them, right? It was like two sharks swimming down the hall, and people were moving for them. When I walk through a housing unit, that doesn't happen. When I'm out in public, people don't do that for me. So I never get a chance to relax. I never have to not watch my back. And that's what when Nicole talks about that, I try to tell people, if you have that feeling where you like almost get in a car accident, where your gut tightens, and then it takes you a long time to kind of calm down from that. I mean, that's something that we go through several times a night in our building, and it's such a hard. I mean, it's like doing an ISO set for your emotional well-being. I mean, we are incredibly tense, incredibly hypervigilant the whole entire shift. And I wish people understood that what I'm saying and what I'm writing about doesn't take away anything that police officers do or firefighters do or dispatchers do or any of that. I'm just saying that, hey, look at us over here because we're going through some shit too,
Yeah, and I talk about this all the time on the show, which is I think we need to be more realistic in the law enforcement profession. And now I think about the same thing with corrections, which is I think we need to be realistic about what the right retirement age or retirement year is in this profession.
20 and out.
And I'd venture even to say 15 and out.
That would be fine too.
Yeah, and it has nothing to do with I want to do less time. It's that at the 15-year mark, you are beyond fucking burnt out. Like you're a fucking emotional disaster. Your PTSD is through the roof. Your off-duty life is just a mess. I mean, it's just a mess.
Let me read this to you. This guy from Michigan texted me, and he said in Michigan there's a saying: until you have 5 years in, you're no good to us. After you have 10 years in, you're no good to anybody else.
Ain't that the truth?
That's fucked up.
Isn't that
It
true?
is.
Isn't that
Yeah.
true, though? Like,
yeah.
And it's our loved ones that kind of they really get penalized through the whole entire profession, because what they fell in love with, unless you got married or you met somebody after you were on the job. But if you met that person before you were on the job, man, you are not the same person.
Not at all.
Not even after a year, you're not the same person. And I know, like reading your book, I know off duty, my fuse was extremely short because on the job, it's ask, tell, and make you do, That's always what we've been trained for, Then you come off duty and you deal with one of your kids telling you no, they're not going to do something.
And you fly off the handle.
Fly off the freaking handle because you're like, you can't tell me no. And
realistically, they can. You can't do anything about it.
Yeah. Well, until CPS gets involved.
Yeah. Well,
let's
hit them with a phone book. Don't leave mark.
Or text message them that, lower the music.
Well, that's one of the things that I talk about is we don't understand. Nobody teaches you this in the academy, right? For every day when you speak, there's going to be real consequences for people who don't listen to you. You can give them. For us, it's 3 verbal directives. If I ask you 3 times, back up, back up, back up, then I can go hands on. It's no big deal, or whatever we're going to do. But outside, when you're dealing with somebody, a phone company, because they shut your phone off and you paid the bill, but you're trying to get them to listen to you, or your kid won't take out the trash. There's no consequences. They don't have to ask. And then you're in this point where, like, you don't know what to do because you don't have use of force options at home, right? I mean, you can tell them, and you're already pissed off because of stuff you're dealing with at work that you aren't understanding or acknowledging. And then your kids stand and they're like, no, I'm not going to do my homework. And you're like, wah, you freak out. And then you're like, then nobody comes home for Christmas and you can't figure out why, because you've been yelling at them for 15 years,
All right. Well, we're going to take our first break, and then we're going to come back.
On a long, lonesome highway east of Omaha, I can listen to the engines moaning.
Law enforcement suicides are at an all-time high right now. One of the causes is poor leadership within the law enforcement profession. Nick, the host of the Roll Call Room podcast, has written a book, Police Mental Barricade, A Survivor's Guide to Poor Law Enforcement Leadership. This book is a raw and powerful look into suicide and how poor leadership decisions contribute to law enforcement suicides. Buy the book now at mentalhealthbarricade.com and stop the stigma.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is Mike's favorite time.
That's the only reason why I'm here. Stupid games.
For us to play a game. This game is called What the Fuck Are They Singing? Ladies and gentlemen that don't know this game, I'm going to play a song. The guests on this show will guess the lyrics of said song. These songs have been picked, and I have researched online what the proper lyrics are. If you guess right, you win nothing. If you guess wrong, you get nothing.
So you're playing for pride, not prize.
Yeah.
I have no pride, so it don't matter.
Right.
The winner of this game will win a free ride on a motorcycle with Mike.
Oh.
It is a journey that you will remember forever. You'll be on his back, hugging him.
Do I gotta stop playing the Mustang video every time?
Yeah, play the Mustang thing again.
No.
Oh no! Oh.
No.
Mike! It's not supposed to go that fast.
All right, we're gonna start off.
Slow down!
We're gonna start off super easy. Okay.
Is Nicole playing too, or what?
She's playing too.
Okay.
Oh, fantastic. Thanks.
Nirvana.
This is a song by the one and only Nirvana. Smells Like Teen Spirit. We're only going to require you to know the first 3 sentences of this song. Mike, you'll be up first. Not expecting much from you.
It's skipping. You have it fucking skipping.
No, it isn't.
Okay, Mike.
Hello? Hello?
That is the next couple of lyrics.
What do you want me to say? What do you want me to...
Mike, we're going to need the lyrics for this. It's the first 3 sentences of the song. Mind you, Kurt Cobain is dead, so please have some respect.
All right, so what do you want me to... What part do you want?
This whole thing.
Load up your guns, bring your friends.
Uh-huh.
Something. Oh no, she's overboard. Something. Yeah, whatever.
Sorry, Mike. As always, nothing to expect from you. But I'm sorry.
Self-assured.
I don't know.
I know a dirty word. Pretend. Yeah. All right, so what are we doing? How many times are we going to play the fucking song over?
It's Bill's turn. Shut the fuck up.
He knows that he's freaking singing it.
Okay. Is he singing the right words?
Well, then he's a fan of Nirvana like we are.
I am.
Give me
I like Nirvana.
3 sentences.
Load up your guns and bring your friends. It's fun to lose and to pretend. She's overboard and self-assured. Oh no, I know a dirty word. Hello, how low.
Yes.
And that is the correct
I miss
answer.
Kurt Cobain.
I miss him too.
People cried when he died.
I know. I cried when he died, actually.
Nick didn't go to school.
I didn't go to school for 2 days.
Oh.
Yeah.
You didn't go to school at all.
Yes, I know him that long.
And you know what else misses him? His brains. And Nicole is not going to go because Bill already got the correct lyrics. So we're going to move on to the next song, and Nicole's going to start. This is Even Flow by Pearl Jam from the album 10, which was how old Mike was when this came out.
Maybe he'll see a little better Saturdays.
All right, Nicole.
Freezing. Although when I first heard this, I thought he said freedom.
Mhm.
It's freezing. Rests his head on a pillow made of concrete again. Oh, feeling. Maybe he'll see a little better any days.
Oh, even flow.
That is absolutely correct. Ladies and gentlemen, first shot.
Eddie Vedder.
I'm looking for a picture of him.
Okay, Mike, we're back to you again.
Mike.
I don't know it. I'm looking for a picture of Eddie Vedder. Go ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mike's favorite band.
Turn around and look at the poster on your wall.
Hootie and the Blowfish. Mike's favorite band. Mike has actually seen them 17 times in concert.
Nice.
Mike, this is super easy.
I don't know it. I hate these fucking games. We come from different worlds. Laugh at me when I look at other girl.
Yeah, give it to him. That was great.
And I wonder why. I'm such a baby when dolphins make me cry.
Mike, can I get the first 3?
Only want to be with you.
I only want to be with you.
3 sentences. Mike?
I don't know. I just sang it. What the fuck?
Once again, nothing for Mike. Bill, I'm going to play it for you.
You gonna play it for me again?
Yeah, of course. For you.
I sang the freaking song. That should be good enough.
He sang the song, and I've already Googled the lyrics, so I'd be cheating.
You're not supposed to say anything. What the hell's wrong with
Oh,
you?
wait. Okay. Sometimes
You need to put the phone down.
and you wonder why I'm such a baby because it offered me a cry.
All right. So next song, we're going to start off with Bill. Bill, do not look this up.
Okay. This is Disturbed.
Yes,
I can't tell the difference. Kid who can't tell the difference. I get stupefied. I've been waiting my whole life for just one rock. I don't know. Rock. I don't know it.
Okay, you don't.
I'm stupefied coming back again.
I didn't even know what he says at the end.
I don't either. I'm just making it up.
It sounded good. It sounded close.
Nicole, do you know?
I've been waiting my whole life for just one rock, one tiny little something rock.
You keep saying rock.
Just seem like I don't give up. Rock. In my mind for the 55 came again.
What the?
If you just sing everything like Eddie Vedder, it sounds like you know the words. One.
He's talking about.
Yeah.
I've been waiting my whole life.
He's like playing around with my normal reality.
All right.
I mean, he just won. Fuck. How could you say that you don't give up? Fuck.
Oh, Mike's got a picture with him and Eddie Vedder. Okay.
Nice.
Oh,
I knew you had a picture of him somewhere.
I was at the Wax Museum also.
I have one. If we're doing Wax Museum, I have me and Notorious Big, B.I.G. hanging.
Oh, baby. Mike, I'm going to give you the last one so that you can redeem yourself. Are you ready?
I'm not going to know it. Go ahead.
All right, here we go. This is super easy. Come on. I found this one for you.
I crashed my bike the other day.
Want you to listen to this.
If you're traveling to the North Country Fair,
Come on, Mike.
where the wind is heavy,
I don't know this shit.
You sure do. This was the one when your scout leader touched you.
remember me.
You remember?
I don't want to bring back those memories.
He doesn't remember the words. He was too focused on the guy's eyes.
Hey, I saw you staring at me while I was playing.
I didn't blink.
I
He got
saw
his
you
merit
staring-
badge that day.
I saw you staring at me while I was playing my guitar.
Got his whittling merit badge.
You want to whittle? Come here.
Hanging down.
Did you see this merit badge? Looks like a balloon knot.
All down her breast.
Spike Brown.
Yeah. What's that merit badge with the eyes bulging out? That's when I pop my cherry.
Hanging down.
Mike.
That's the way
Mike?
I remember.
Anything?
The way I remember being touched.
Oh my god. Whew. Well, that game was a colossal failure.
Yeah, of course it was.
You should have done, if you would have done House of Pain, I would have been able to do the whole thing.
Oh my god, House of Pain.
Go ahead.
Holy mackerel.
We could all do it.
Oh my god, House of
I used
Pain.
to do when I go karaoke, I always do Naughty by Nature, OPP, jump on the tables and just have a blast. Really anything 90s hip hop, late 80s, early 90s hip hop, I'm good to go.
I could just picture Bill back in the day.
Just 20 pounds lighter, that's it.
When his soul was able to grow flower. Before that jaded.
Working at Dickies. Nike Cortez.
Yeah, before your
Came to win, battle me, that's a sin. I won't tear a sack up. Punk, you better back up. Try to play the role and you'll the whole crew will act up.
You know something I just thought of, Bill? So
I can't remember my kid's birthday, but I remember the House of Pain lyrics from 1992.
What's the name of your podcast with your co-host?
The 10-9 podcast.
Okay. You calling your friend and leaving voicemails makes me die laughing every friggin' time. And I would like those too.
Do you want? Okay, I'll leave you some voice.
I will purposely send you to voicemail because
I sent you some shit while you were on patrol.
You did, and I still have them. But Bill sings musicals in his voicemails, and it's fucking hysterical. Every time I listen to his podcast and they talk about it, fucking hilarious.
Well, it's because he never answers my phone call, so I have to do shit like that.
Yeah, it was the same thing. I would call Nick, and I'm like, yo, I haven't talked to him in like a couple weeks. I'm like, this motherfucker puts me right to voicemail. So I'd get on, and I'd be like, hey, Daddy, I'm just wondering when you're gonna get off, and like just totally just every time, just fuck with him, and nothing. Still no returns.
Nothing. But I saved them all. I saved them all.
You gotta play some of them.
I'll have to play them. But Bill's are absolutely fun, and your co-host is hysterical because he's just.
Thank you. I'll tell him.
He sounds how my soul feels.
Yeah.
Like if my soul was a voice, it would be his. Like
it's like doing a podcast with my dad is what it's like.
He like seems like he doesn't want to be there, but he does want to be there. And I love that because it's just like it sounds like you like threw him in a van and brought him over to your house.
Well, so like a year ago, he come and when I was trying to figure out what I was going to do, and I was like, I'm going to do this Facebook Live thing and stuff, and I'm like, I think I'm going to do a podcast. And he goes, no, he's like, I don't even know what a podcast is. Don't worry about that. Well, then we always have these shift briefing things where because I relieve him, and we have these 30 minutes where we just do this, and I'm like, you know what, we should record this, and so he acts like he doesn't want to be a part of it. But deep down, he loves it. Yeah.
And the funny thing is that's the one that my daughter did your opening for. And he's like, who is that? How old is she? You creep, that's my daughter. What's wrong with you?
We get so much, and she did such an awesome job on that. The text, I'm sure you read the text that I sent it to you, but this is exactly how I wanted her to read it, and it came back just so perfect. Like somebody who was just totally put out, totally pissed off, does not want to be here, and it just rolls right in.
She did it 12 fucking times, and I was like,
"Great job."
After the second one, I was like, "It's good." She goes, "No, I want to record it again." And then out of the blue, like last week, she's like, hey, I want to re-record my opening. And she was like, I want to say some more to your commanders. And I was like, oh, fuck. It's like, I think you've said quite enough. Right. They got the message, sweetheart.
She did a good job. I'm very appreciative of her effort on that. It's great. There's a lot of comments on her doing the intro, her disdain for actually being a part of it. It just comes off perfect.
Yeah, it's awesome. So you're still doing the Saturday night synopsis, right?
Yeah, I took a break over the holidays, and I did 26 or 27 episodes of it, and then sometimes life gets a little bit busy, but I got some guests lined up for after the new year, and we're gonna get back into it. When you deal with such a subject like trauma, suicide, mental health all the time. I mean, I needed a break, man. It was like all my research, all my reading, everything was about, killing yourself. And I was like, I need to watch fucking comedy or something.
Well, and I could relate to that because as Nicole is staring at me, that's what my life was for the first year with the roll call room. And then there was so much drama that was happening behind the scenes that it was destroying it. Like the one thing that was supposed to be to help people was destroying my life, like destroying my personal life too. And then like this cafe saved my life. Like it saved a lot of things. And it's good to see that there's life after the job, and it's in coffee, and it's good. It's really good. And I still have Mike around, or at least one of them.
It's been almost 20 years. I think we're stuck with him.
Yeah, as much as I try and shake them.
I enjoyed the episode where you had the wives on. It was you two, and then the wives, and you guys were telling stories of, about your relationship from years. But that was a great episode.
Yeah, we're gonna do another spouses episode soon because that one got a lot of positive reviews. It'd be good to have all three, you, Mike, and yeah. Yeah.
Has your wife ever done anything, Bill?
Podcast wise, no.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
You gotta make this happen. Oh, I got to see what's behind the Bill Young. I got look at his face.
He's turning red.
Oh, yeah.
That's because I can't breathe. My shirt's too tight. No, no. I'll ask her. The last time I talked to her about it. So for a long time it was no. The last time I talked to her about it, I got a maybe. So we're getting there.
We should do a trifecta of all three spouses and everything. And I think she would do it if she was in good company. So I think it'll be good.
Sure. Any opportunity to blast me on a platform, that'd be perfect.
Mike, we'll talk about it when Bill's not on. But I think if he agrees to this, why don't we do it naked?
Oh my God.
You and me naked. As soon as the camera comes on, I was just mortified.
Yeah, but the whole thing would be
a Ken doll. He built like a Ken doll.
The whole thing would be we would agree to it, and then I would be the only one naked. You'd be like, "No,
that was the idea.
I was just joking."
Yeah, that was pretty much.
That was the idea. I was just gonna wear a shirt that's like the skin shirt.
Yeah.
Right.
Meanwhile, I'm singing like "Happy Birthday, Mr. President."
Tiny horses.
Nice.
So, Bill, it has been an absolute pleasure, and we'll have to have you on again. It's always a pleasure having you on. Again, I want to tell you guys, you need to check out The Nothing That Never Happened. It's Bill's book. It's phenomenal. I highly recommend it. I'm going to put it up as the cover for our for this episode, so you get to actually see what the cover is. And I'm also going to put a link in the description. So do Bill a favor and go pick up his book. And I'm telling you, you're not going to be disappointed. Mike, is there anything that you would like to add to the general order?
You're just going to cut me off, so no.
You know him too well.
No. In all seriousness, hold on. Let me get serious for a second. Mike, I realized over the holidays, I had a lot of reflecting to do on Christmas, and my kids are older, so Christmas isn't what it used to be anymore. And I realized that maybe I've been unfair to you, and I don't know why you're laughing.
You're still gonna get when I see you, bro. You're gonna get punched in the face.
I just wanted to tell you that I appreciate you picking up the slack on this show and coming on.
Did you see that commercial where not the commercial, the YouTube clip where the guy hits the other guy with a twisted tea? Yo, I'm gonna grab a bag of coffee and smack you with the bag of coffee.
Anyway, Mike, I appreciate everything that you've done this year, and I wanted to say thank you so much for everything. And I always cut you off. And it's only fair that I end this episode, which is the last episode of the year, with you saying or doing whatever you want to do, whatever message you want to give all the fans. So
I'm good. I'm good because there's something coming. So
there's nothing coming, Mike. Just
this is next. You know it.
Out.
You know it.
No way.
You know it, Mike.
Love you, everybody.
We love you too, Mike.
That's it.
You have an open forum.
No, I'm good, bro. You're just gonna do something.
For better 2021.
Cut it out. Or...
Hey, folks! I'm so excited about this brand new sponsor, Ferocious Beard Company. This company is fantastic. They have a lot of great assortments of beard wax, wash, and oils. They've got apparel. They've got soaps. They've got a whole bunch of different things. Go to ferociousbeard.com, use promo code RollCallRoom, and you get 20% off. I absolutely love their products. I'm telling you, I've used a lot of different beard products. Mike and I have been searching for a beard company for a long time as a sponsor, and we finally found the best company out there, which is Ferocious Beard Company. And they're out of Fort Worth, Texas, okay? Go on ferociousbeard.com, use promo code RollCallRoom, and you get 20% off.
Girl, you knew the night before.
Your dog is about to.
But your thoughts will soon be wandering the way they always do. When you're riding.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back from break. We are here with Bill Young and Nicole and
Mike. What day is it?
Mike,
Mike.
contributing a lot to the show as always.
I like to listen.
Mike,
lower music.
But in all seriousness, that's why I wanted to have Bill on. And I want to say again, the nothing that never happened. Bill, of course, they can get this on Amazon, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Where else can they get it?
If you know me, you can get it from me from my backpack. But I'm selling them out of the trunk of my car with some VHS tapes too. Bloodsport, old Jean-Claude Van Damme movies. I got VHS and then my book as well. So yeah, no, they're just strictly on Amazon. I self-published this one, so I could have all the control over how to market it and what to do with it. So,
good idea.
Yeah,
that's what I did. It's good. It's good to have control over your stuff, where you distribute it, and all that stuff. What's the name of the first book?
When Home Becomes a Housing Unit.
Mm.
I love that title.
I love that one. Yeah, I love that one.
I read that at work in one night.
Are you getting a lot of emails from folks about the book? Like
I do.
But
I do, and it that's what makes it all worth it, right? Because when you whether you're doing a podcast or you paint or you write a book, you send this emotional piece of you out into the world, and then you just sit there and wait, and you're like, everybody hates it, I'm a failure, this doesn't make any sense. And then you'll get an email and you'll get somebody that says, hey man, this was like you're writing about me and I appreciate it. And yeah, it makes it super worth it, and it just reinforces for me why I do what I do, because there's so many of us out there that it resonates with, and it really helps drown out the the naysayers, the tough guys and girls that say, well, I don't know what you're talking about, Bill. This doesn't make any sense,
Yeah. Well, what I found too is when you write a book, and then when you know somebody that gives you feedback or good feedback is always good. But when you know the person and then they like message you or they call you and they're like, hey, really, really good. And that's why when I finished the book, I wasn't even off the train when I texted you, and I'm sure you were sleeping. But I had to blast it to you because I've been there. I've been there where you write a book and you put it out and you're like, fuck, I don't know. I just don't know. And, it's good, especially when you send a friend your book. Like I send out a lot of free books.
Yeah, don't start that shit because
mine got lost in the mail.
I just texted you, motherfucker.
Did you?
Oh, you did?
Still waiting on my book. Yes, I will get you a tracking number before the end of the episode.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
And Bill, I sent you out a book with some coffee. So
I'm excited about that.
You should be getting that 2-day air, and I hope you enjoy it. And I gave you the new gold foil book.
Nice.
Those are a limited edition book. Okay.
The best kind of coolest little compliment I ever got about my book was when I moved in, I gave a copy of my book to my neighbors, and because they were excited because one of the other neighbors said, hey, a police officer's moving next to you. And then when they met me, I said, no, I'm a correctional officer. They were kind of like, oh, like disappointed. So I said, so I gave them a copy of my book and I said, hey, here's what I do. And here's kind of, my focus and stuff. And so we were sitting on the porch, it was a few months later, and they had never said, hey, we read your book or anything. And, but we were sitting on the porch, and my wife always gives me shit when I'm just sitting there and I'm just spacing off, right? When I don't want to participate in whatever conversation is going on, it's just because I just blank out, and so she's giving me shit, and my neighbor's like, no, he's not being antisocial. He's just trying to process all the things that he has at work and that he writes about and stuff. And I'm like, oh, well, you read my book. Thank you. So that was kind of cool.
Yeah. That is kind of cool. I get that with my book. Like when my friends, the very few that I have read the book, and then they call me and they don't understand that the book is a year passed.
Are you
like
okay?
Yeah. Like, so they read the first chapter and they're just like,
Do you want to talk?
oh my God, are you okay? And I'm like, yes, I didn't kill myself. I don't know if you got through the first chapter, but I made it.
Right. I don't want to give away the ending, but I'm still here.
I'm still here.
It's like the Titanic. You're hoping that there's a different ending. And then they're like, oh, I wish I would have known. I would have helped you. I would have saved. And I'm like, just like,
I would have sent you.
I did know you. I
What
did
would you
know
have
you.
done?
Right.
It wouldn't have mattered. My mom took it the worst though. Like when my mom read my book, she was just like, oh my God.
I mean, it's tough. It's how do you tell people that care about you, that love you, that you're not okay? I mean, you say, hey, I know that you love me and that you do anything for me, but nothing you do is going to help. So just mind your business. I mean, how do you tell somebody that?
Yeah, it's tough, and I think they're conditioned like we're conditioned about like. You hear the suicide word and automatically people want to change the subject.
Oh, freak out. Yeah.
They freak the fuck out. And they're just like, they don't know what to say. And their immediate answer in what we all do in this profession is, why don't you just leave?
Right.
They don't understand
just quit.
just quit. And what they don't understand, and I found this out when I left the profession and I started looking for a job. A lot of the shit that you do, all these certifications that you have, all these cool certificates that you have, they don't translate to shit in the private sector. Like, I ran an entire city shift as a sergeant. Fucking the whole city. I couldn't even get a fucking interview at Target. Like, it doesn't convert.
Prevention.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, you're overqualified. Like, what? Like, it was very, very eerie, which is if you're in this profession and you're taking training, look at the training that's going to help you when you retire, or if you decide that this is not for you. Get something that transfers. Like, technology-wise is always a good move. Cybersecurity, all that kind of stuff is really, really good as far as training. So if you're a young buck under 5 years, start looking at training at the academy for cybersecurity, social media investigations, those kind of things. Facebook is always hiring. Instagram is always hiring. They're the same company, but they're always hiring. Uber is another one. Uber hires retired cops. I don't know why, but they do. So definitely something that you should look into if you're listening to this.
That's why I tell people they'll message me and say, hey, I'm thinking about, I'm going back to school. I want to get in, I'm a correction officer. I'm going to get my bachelor's in criminal justice. I'm like, don't get your bachelor's in something that will translate if you, number one, need to quit, or when you retire. Cause I've watched so many people get to retirement age and they just stand there. I mean, it's so crazy how institutionalized we get. And essentially, I've done nothing for the last 15, 20 years, but be in jail. I'm a glorified inmate when I get out. Nothing I do in there, like you said, translates stouts. Nobody cares about that because they have no idea what's going on. So if you're going to educate yourself and pursue that, then like Nick said, do something else. Do something because most correctional facilities only, if they require a degree for promotion, they don't care what that degree's in. They just want you to have associates or bachelor. Do it so you can get out and do something else.
Yeah, I'm one credit away from night school for being a penis enlargement doctor. So I'm super pumped about that.
Oh, nice. Pardon the pun.
Yeah. Can't wait to grow my profession.
You worked super hard on that one.
I worked super hard. The other day it was raining. I got wet.
Oh, boy.
Wine is not amused.
So